What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good afternoon. Was not my morning slate, a little too much Soriano. Hey, didn't play a bunch, so not going to complain a
You didn't
lot.
you didn't have the Freeland Priester combination?
I had some of it,
Okay, okay.
and I had all the Rocky, like a 4-man Rocky stack, which didn't work out for me.
Right.
Um, I'm trying to figure out what I got a message from one of our subscribers. I couldn't understand it. All right, so this slate is I'm not playing a ton of lineups. I'm playing 70 lineups, but this is not nothing. But it's not my biggest slate. I don't feel great about the pitching basically anywhere is sort of my take. What to do with that, I'm not sure, but I know that right now I'm getting Sale, Springs, Povich, Pavetta, and Sale significantly higher than everybody else against Arizona, which it just feels like a not pure upside matchup. And that's where I'm at. And for what it's worth, weather-wise, I did cross out. I don't really like that game anyway today as much. The St. Louis KC game. It is Roth has it as orange. They're both there tomorrow. They can play a doubleheader. And if it looks better, I'll probably unblock it, but I'm not going to be trying to target it anyway. It's postponed. So there you go. So now you don't have to do anything. So
Well, you do have to do something. You have to rebuild if you used it before.
Oh yeah, well I blocked it off.
Okay.
For me, it didn't make it. Well, I guess it'll change the ownerships, but it's not going to change much because nobody was like more than 3% owned. So what are you getting pitching wise right now, Sheets?
Yeah, I'm getting like right now kind of a little spread out stuff. Like as of before the postponement, I was actually getting Povich and Boz, and then also the Matthews guy, Sale as well, and I'm like all over the place. I'm even getting some Merrill Kelly. You know, it's I was going to be well under on Pavetta. That was the what I was getting literally just as of 30 seconds ago. I am going to redo everything though with the St. Louis game being postponed though.
When did they announce that? So they announced it like 14 minutes ago. Okay, so I'd already
Okay.
I just built my things and I didn't notice, but yeah, make sure that you are not playing anybody from that game, and make sure you rebuild once it hits SaberSim because it's
and the Orioles lineup I think came out. Because I had some Mateo and he's not playing.
okay. Yeah, the Orioles is out, so is Seattle. Stacks wise, it's interesting because right now I have Minnesota and the Dodgers as the highest owned, but I'm gonna let it do its thing and late swap because I like Seattle a lot, and I also think the A's are a good stack as well. So most of my stacks are gonna be late night. I won't know how I'm doing until really really late today. How about you? Anything different for you or anything significant for you that you're high on one side?
Well, let me see. Again, I literally just built it. I would imagine I'm getting with the Mets again and the Dodgers. Let's just see. Yep. Mets. Then Arizona, which makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Then Minnesota, then the Dodgers.
okay.
That's where I am right now.
And for my hand builds, I'm only building one lineup on FanDuel. I'm probably going to go with the Dodgers and Seattle for what it's worth. So that's what I would do if I had
Dodgers in Seattle.
I like the Seattle. I think that there's upside against. I also like Povich, so I'm speaking out of both sides on this one. I think Povich has upside, and I think Seattle's offense has upside, and I think it's a nice way to get different. But I agree about the Mets too. I did not get to the Arizona myself, even though, again, if this game slate was like 3 games shorter, I probably would be all over Arizona, and I probably would have forced it in against Sale. But with all these games, we still got 9 games. I think it's just a little too much for me to go for 5-man stacking against Sale, just because it's just so hard. It feels hard to get there. As something that was pointed out by Adam in the Discord, which I thought was kind of interesting too. I think that Detroit is getting a little bit overlooked tonight. It's just tough with the you have the platoon guys, and it's really hard to stack against a bullpen game when you have platoon guys. But I agree they're being low owned. And I like the idea of getting different and playing them. I just feel like it's a little risky because of the potential, the guys you might lose to platooning.
We're missing lineups for the later games, it looks like. And that's pretty much it. So, like the Mets, Dodgers we won't get for a while, I guess.
Yeah, the Dodgers, yeah, probably. They're pretty good about getting it early. My guess is as usual, the East Coast teams, when they go to the West Coast, they love to make us wait. So I'll bet between the Mets and the Giants, those are the two last lineups we get in. That's my prediction.
Let me look at this. So yeah, a couple of guys that I've had in that are not playing. Georgie Mateo from Baltimore, Trey Sweeney from Detroit, and Lenny Sosa for the White Sox I had. So I'm going to just redo those, I think.
Yeah. In terms of individual hitters, all of my stuff seems to be very focused on Minnesota, which just can't be the best way to play this thing. But after that, I have a lot of the Mets and a lot of the a lot of these A's too, which is a way of getting at least a little bit different. And you're still getting the same game environment that Minnesota gets, obviously with the A's. And I think the A's make a lot of sense. I really like these late games. I just don't see. I mean, sure, talking me into Philly. You could talk me into the Yankees. But I personally am much more on the later game side of things.
I'm going to build FanDuel right now. Let you know what I'm getting there. Maybe like you said, the Yankees. It's still 80 degrees here.
Yeah, why aren't the Yankees getting so overlooked? That might be a little bit of a mistake. I thought they were going to have a little more ownership, which is partly why I wanted to be off of them. Maybe I'll force in some Yankees because
like you said, I think people just want to wait for those late games, but Yankees in 80-degree weather is always, somewhat appealing.
Absolutely. I don't think you don't have to tell me twice. I'm in on the Yankees. When I just saw the updated ownerships.
And what's wrong with the Phillies again? I mean,
no, nothing's wrong. They're hard to. They're well, actually, it's a good slate to get to them because there's not like, again, you got Sale with upside and Pivetta with upside, but I think you're probably, you're okay with just getting by with your pitchers, so you could probably play some cheaper pitchers and get to Philly because they're just expensive, to get the ones you want.
Let's see.
Oh Jesus, this hurts.
What's that?
Just on this. Sometimes the shoulder thing comes and goes.
Oh no!
That moment. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. Yeah. So, and then we've got the finals starting tomorrow. I'll make sure to cover that stuff.
So you think the Pacers are going to outperform their odds pretty much?
Yeah, outperform their odds is the best way. I mean, considering they're supposed to lose in like 4.7 games.
Right. No, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And I don't know, Sheets, you watch this team play against it, like they just never feel like they're out of a game,
No.
And the one thing that if you had to pick apart with OKC is that they haven't played well in close games. Even during the season, they didn't play especially well in close games, but that's partly because they blow everybody out.
Right.
But in Indy, on the other hand, is like the king of the close games. So I just get the feeling that Indy's getting at least 2 in this series. And I actually like the odds to take a shot against, get some bets in. I just hate it when one team's minus 750 and the other team's plus 500. I just feel like something's annoying about that. I feel like it should be the same. All right. What else do we have? Let's see. Any questions or thoughts, guys, that you want to throw in there? Feel free to do so. As I always say, when there's just baseball going on, there's not as many things to cover.
What are you doing? FanDuel wise?
I just said I'm just building one lineup, and it's going to be Dodgers and Seattle, I think.
Oh, you did that one by hand. You were saying.
I haven't done it yet, but I will be. Just building one. Yeah, I'll never build unless I'm building like 30 lineups. I'll always hand build, but I'm usually building 30 lineups, so. Doesn't matter as much. All right, let's see what else we got here.
I didn't do any for what
Gary
it's worth.
Carpenter was just scratched, by the way, for the Tigers.
Oh.
Doesn't mean he won't pinch hit later on in the game. Just
No, but you still want to play him.
yeah, you don't want to play him, but I'm just saying, yeah.
Who was he replaced by?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just saw the alert. I don't even know if it's written in the things yet. Yeah, I still have to see him in the last. They haven't announced it, I guess. Just happened less than a minute ago. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so there it looks like they're updating. We'll see in a moment.
And tell me again, who was scratched? Carpenter, you said?
Yeah.
3 home runs wasn't good enough, right? That's
Well, yeah, I guess so. And that probably makes you feel like a little bit better, I guess. Although it literally could just be a situation where he just comes in the second or third inning.
it's pretty funny.
That's just what happens because the lefty starting. The fact that he was announced and then scratched makes me feel like he's less likely to be able to play. I don't see why he's scratched. It just said he was scratched. I didn't see any.
Yeah, so looks like on FanDuel, Mets, Minnesota, Baltimore.
Baltimore's interesting.
Arizona.
It's a little different.
Padres. That's different.
That is
Dodgers. I'm getting mostly. Oh, I guess we don't need 3 threes. I don't think on FanDuel. Let's see this.
Do you know who I don't hate as a pitching option today because it's such a weird pitching slate?
Who?
Merrill Kelly.
Yeah, he was showing up for me a little bit earlier.
I don't mind getting to a little bit of that. I didn't get to it at first, but I think I might rerun some things and make sure you get a little bit of them. Yeah, it's just and also this we don't have confirmation. So we have Springs officially as the starter right now in the projections, but we have no idea we saw the A's do this twice yesterday. They changed their starting pitcher. And actually it was three times they changed their starting pitcher. So just beware with what the A's do. And Springs may not start. And even if there's an opener and you want to play the guy in long relief, the problem is these teams don't always stick with it, because sometimes they use an opener and they're like, okay, well, that guy's going to get us through 1 to 2 innings. And next thing you know, he's perfect through 2 and he's only thrown 20 pitches. They leave him in for the third. And all of a sudden the whole strategy changes and they don't use the long reliever.
I'll tell you who's not human. Okay.
Who's that?
Nikola Jokic is not human.
Jokic?
No. Jokic, the tennis player.
Oh, Joe. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, not Jokic. He's not.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He lost the first hit to Zverev. No problem. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be over in 2 seconds.
It's so crazy with him because it's not like with other guys in the past. You could say, okay, well, this guy's got the serve and Jokic just does everything.
He's just in such insane shape. It's just
and he's old now.
That's what I'm saying. He's got unlimited freaking cardio at 38 or however old he is. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to play freaking 5-set matches on clay. But you know what? He doesn't play it. He hadn't dropped a set the whole tournament until this one.
Yeah, that's nuts.
He's got a problem. He's got a problem in the next round. I mean, it's Sinner never loses. I mean, he's crazy.
Yeah, but Sinner he's young. He's big. He's long. He's got the great serve. It makes sense. Jokovic is there was always somebody who was had a better serve. Maybe as a returner, you could say he was the best ever or whatever, something like that. But he's just great at everything. There's really just no weakness there.
And yeah, so it looks like I'm going to probably be seeing Alcaraz versus the winner of Sinner Jokovic. That's a pretty sick match, whoever it is.
That's awesome either way. Yeah, absolutely. I was at Djokovic. I'm pretty sure it was his first win on U.S. soil. He won.
No kidding, really?
In Germany, yeah, his first. And I was just going with some friends. We went down to Indian Wells, and it was and at the time, even Andy Murray wasn't ranked very high or anything, and they were in the finals. And this guy was just nobody, everybody in the stadium's asking around who he is because it was, by the time you get to the final, nobody. You have the casual tennis fans, but then you have the serious tennis fans who know everything about everything coming up. But by the end, you get, the big ones, usually at the end, mostly everybody's pretty knowledgeable. Not very knowledgeable.
Meanwhile, I opened my big mouth. He didn't close it out yet, but he's still serving for the match here.
Okay. What's the it's 2-1 sets?
2-1 in sets, 5-4 serving for the Magic Deuce. It was 40-15 2 seconds ago.
Oh.
Pavetta. Why am I not getting any Pavetta for some reason?
Yeah, SaberSim doesn't like Pavetta too much today. I actually had to force a little bit of him in. And it's weird because I think Pavetta is the safest. I mean, look, it's not nothing's perfect or anything, but like I'd rather face San Francisco than Arizona in San Francisco versus in Atlanta, even though the wind is blowing in from left field in Atlanta.
That's true.
So the Tigers replaced him. I still can't tell who they replaced him with. Let me see. I'm looking at it. Tigers. Where is this? So Carpenter instead of Carpenter. I honestly don't know how to figure this out. Let's see. Ibanez, Claver was in there. Riley Green is in there. Torkelson, Perez. Perez is the answer.
Yeah.
And then the A's lineup just came out, which is definitely different than what was up there.
Really?
Yeah. But the Max Muncy number 2 is in the lineup. But I think instead of CJ Alexander, from what I can tell at first glance, and actually that's really the only difference I think. So other than that, it's pretty much the same. All right.
Any golf exposures you want to share?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not done yet. And also I still have a feeling there's going to be like rain tomorrow morning, which makes me just nervous about like
rain making the course tough or making it
make it easier. Should make it easier most likely.
No, but not enough where they cancel is what I'm saying.
Oh, no. It's just like day one, it looks like the rain will let up in the afternoon, but the thing that it worries me about these types of tournaments is the withdrawal risk is much higher, and I'm not going to be up at 3 a.m. to figure it out. So
right.
Yeah. So I'm very low on like I have 20% Rory, which I think is going to be well below the field. My highest owned is Taylor Pendrith. I mean, look, you're not going to like it, Cheats. I did the Canadian bump thing. Pendrith, Connors, although I don't love Connors, I much prefer Nick Taylor. Oberg, Clanton, Kiefer, Hisatsne, Mackenzie Hughes, Jake Knapp, Sam Burns, Ricky Castillo. Those are like my main guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to. Well, everything I do though gives me more and more of the Pendrith. It's pretty.
Oh,
wild.
really?
I really like Pendrith.
Well, what did you do with him? Did you bumped him in projection? You just bumped him in minimum ownership.
I mean, I have him as higher in minimum ownership, but not that much. Like I have him. I put a minimum of 25 on him because I picked him to. That's what I usually do with a guy I pick to win.
Okay.
And I bumped his projection by 1.5 points. No, by 1 point. Excuse me.
Boy, I got a guy from Canada that I got like 14% of. I've literally never heard of him.
Which one?
I have M. Javier.
Well, I went through the Canadian players. Matthew Javier. Well, that's a wild one to get.
I don't know.
Because there's the other one too.
The only reason I even know he's from Canada is I'm looking at my exposure thing. They don't even have a picture of his face. They have just a picture of the Canadian flag next to it.
Just the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple other Canadians too. There's the Mark guy who's 6K flat.
Well, I've got some ridiculous guys here. I have 14% of Chris. I guess Chris DeMarco. I have
what?
Yeah. What? Who are these people?
How is the DeMarco spelled?
DIMA.
That's the DIM.
Okay. RCO. And then I got 14% of Jay Goldenberg. Is that a person? I mean, like,
I don't know what these are. I mean, I have not like seen or heard or anything about these plays. This could be a projection thing, Sheets. There could be something.
Oh no! You know what? I didn't. No. There's something else. Sorry about that. What the reason? I'll just tell you the reason why I have these guys is because I created like dummy lineups for the showdown, and I made a dummy lineup. So that means I have these guys in 51 lineups.
Oh,
Because
okay. I'm like, this is-
okay, so I'm wondering why I'm getting all this Rydell, Javier, Goldenberg, Endicott. I have to sort these by classic and not just the showdown. So let's go. Never mind here.
that's pretty
So
funny.
yeah, the guys I have, I guess they're somewhat interesting as far as leverage goes. I do have 22% Taylor Moore. That's big enough as far as I'm concerned.
Taylor Moore. Yeah, I think I'm probably like a little above the field on him, but I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm going to rebuild I'm going to use Goldie's projections here to rebuild for the ownership. I actually am using I'm using an average of the ownership of the projection, but I'm using the Goldie's straight up ownership versus Saber Sims.
I'll tell you this, it's
been much more accurate to me.
It's very fortunate. I noticed that because it reminds me that I actually do have to build the showdown lineups if I'm going to play them.
Oh, right. Yeah, so you're. I mean, it sucks. You used to be able to play it. I mean, not that you're going to want to play while you're in Paris, but you used to be able to play in Europe, and you just can't.
No, I don't need to. I mean, like, as long as I have the golf, get the golf and MMA stuff in. I mean, it's fine. You know, I don't need to play baseball and whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
What is this?
Right. I'm looking up here. Can you believe the World Series of Poker now has 100 events?
Is it 100?
It's 100. I guess by this point you might think it was more, but like I remember,
it's more events. It's more events that I'm skipping per year.
It's more than what?
That's more events for me to skip every year.
Yeah, no, but I remember like even when I started, it was like 30.
Really?
So, I feel like it was.
Yeah, I could look at my old spreadsheets. It definitely wasn't 100. That's for sure. Did I still have all those dailies and stuff? Those
Yeah, they've got like the 600 and the things and the stuff like that.
I just don't. I'm just not too down with with the whole idea of anything after the main. I guess that ship already sailed, but
yeah, I hear you. The problem is like you got a guy with his 20 buddies who are hanging out with him while he's making a run, and they all want to go play poker. So I guess they figure they don't want to let everybody all go to the win. I mean, the win in Bellagio. I mean, that was what I used to do. Is I just bounced around, just all of those different things. You get knocked out, and you never slept, and you just were always playing somewhere and finding whatever game was going.
I'll tell you this. I always used to say that the if you were not on tilt, usually one of the juicier tournaments was the Bellagio, that 10K after the main. Just because everybody was punting.
Oh, really?
Everybody was punting because they were all over it from the World Series.
I think it was even 15K some of the years.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I think they moved at one of the years. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But one of the years they moved the 5 diamond, which was the big one, the big W.
That's what it was called, right?
Yeah, they moved it over there. I had man, I'm excited. It's been long enough to where there's like nothing. I'm actually just pumped up to be playing again.
You're just going for the main?
No, I'm actually going to go earlier and.
What week are you going?
I'm leaving the 25th now. Okay. But I'll be able to tap in and do things a little bit from there.
No, but forget that. I mean, do you know what you're playing yet? I mean,
I think I might play. So there's a 3K. I think I might play, but I'd like to play like the $600 ones first, just to get my feet wet again. Because it's just a little different than playing online, which I've been doing a little bit here and there. But I really don't think it's going to take that long. It's more just like my own comfort level. You know what I mean? That I think it's
I hear stories that it's with all these people stalling every hand, it's like become really kind of torturous.
Yeah.
And you listen. You're more than I am. You're usually probably very social and want to like chat it up or whatever. And apparently, it's like everybody's like just kind of like just not like that anymore. I don't know.
I'm very in between. It depends on the mood and the table. You might not see me talk for two. I remember I was playing. I went deep in this London tournament, one of the WDPT Londons, and I just like. People were like, "What happened to you?" Because I literally didn't speak for like the first 2 or 3 days of the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 tables, I was just like chatting it up with everybody, and it was just because like I think it was mostly just because I got to know people. Like, you know, what I mean? Once I get to know you a little bit, usually that's who I am though. I'm a little shy.
Exactly.
And then I'm the most outgoing person there. It's like, once I know you.
I can't imagine shy Bobby. That's
Oh no, if I first meet somebody, I'm a little shy, a little bit. But actually that's not true. I used to be more than I am now. But anyway. All right, I reran my golf thing. Let's see. I'm still waiting. I have to finish Rick's other video. I've got another golf podcast. I've got a couple of friends to talk to, and I've got to read another article that I usually read. And then I'll be done with my golf.
I'll do one more projection update. I'll do one more build. I'll report one more time with what I'm doing. And then Mrs. Sheets and I are going to eat. So let's see what we got. More guys are out? Hold on. Oh, the Mateo again. Okay, same guy. And again, what Bobby said is pretty, I mean, about the Jeffrey Springs thing. I mean, keep an eye on that.
Yeah, well, you know what? And he's not starting.
Oh, really?
Can I get a win for that? I don't have any inside information. Yeah, it says Sterner, starting pitcher.
And I just ran projections like 30 seconds ago, and I'm still getting Springs. So
I'm looking at the A's starting lineup.
Well, so wait a minute. So what does that mean to the average man? Does that mean that helps Minnesota or hurts Minnesota? Probably
that Springs is the long reliever.
That's what I mean. I mean, what is?
I mean, I think it always.
You think people are going to get away with it? They'll play Springs anyway, and he'll be optimal. I hope not. I mean,
I feel like it's the wrong thing, and also like
the slate's huge. There's no way. I mean, like
I think they're gonna play him still. I'm gonna cap him. I've seen this happen. We did it. I mean, it was Tampa Bay who did it. I think the A's are a little bit more direct about it because they just haven't fibbed yet. But we saw it happen with Tampa Bay so many times where they'd be like, we play Ryan Yarbrough and he would never pitch, and then there would be no opener the next day and he'd start. Like it was so weird. But beware of these openers. I'm telling you, I've seen these things do not always go the way you think that they will, and there is some risk. Most likely, he comes in the second inning or third inning, but it's not 100%. That's all I'm saying. It's just we saw it happen plenty of times last year. A lot of guys complaining, a lot of people saying, "Why did you have this guy projected? Why would you do this?" Well, that's the reason.
That's the reason.
Now, you could also make a case that it's an advantage for him. And one less time not facing the top of the order, which is going to be all righties most likely. Be interesting to see what Minnesota does because Minnesota can do their little pinch hit game too. Speaking of Tampa Bay, I don't think we spoke of Tampa Bay. Oh, we did. I said what Tampa Bay used to do. I don't think anything of Tampa Bay. I think that they're one of it's actually not a bad idea. Get a little different. Yeah, sure. I think Tampa Bay makes a lot of sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the good news is I'm not getting any Springer, so
good for you.
I don't have to make that distinction.
Well, I'm gonna have to change his something here because I still have a bunch of them. I just don't want it. I'm telling you, I don't want a guy who, like, I know 90% of the time he pitches. It's also a bad matchup in a bad park. Like, it just doesn't feel like the right thing to do to play Springs. Coming off of a game where what did he do? He got just crushed. He faced 18 batters, allowed 6 walks and 6 hits. That's really
God.
That's incredible. It's hard to do.
Reminds me of all the pitchers from this afternoon's slate.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to be higher scoring tonight or the afternoon. Sometimes those little 3-gamers end up outscoring these big ones. I think baseball is the only sport, though. I guess maybe no. I don't even think football. I think baseball is the only. Well, I guess football could be, but baseball, like, you almost are never going to have the optimal lineup. Nobody's going to make nuts.
It's impossible.
Like impossible. But football is do you think
football is impossible too?
Yeah, it's basically impossible. But it's
in classic slate. I mean, like,
yeah, but every now and then you get the, like, okay, Calvin Johns. I'm sorry, what's his called? The two, Justin Jefferson and I don't know, whatever, Spawn Diggs both go off, and then meanwhile you have the 3K guy who also was the the whatever play, and then it kind of work out. But
have the Rams done anything to the offseason? Oh, they got rid of Cooper Kupp, right?
Yeah, we're gonna miss him, and we got Devontae Adams.
Why?
Well, I think Devontae Adams can play. I just think Aaron Rodgers can't play.
Oh wait, they have Aaron Rodgers. They have Aaron Rodgers.
No, but I'm saying that's what Devontae Adams is. I think he's still one of the best 15, 20 receivers in the league.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know what we would be. He even had like numbers for it, even playing with the gimpy Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
Where did Cooper Kupp go?
Kupp went to what's it called? God, I knew this. I can't believe I'm not in football mode, so I should have it. Oh, Seattle.
Oh, okay.
But they lost Metcalf.
Okay.
To Pittsburgh. No, to
this is not crazy.
Yeah, he went to Pittsburgh, which gives them the right. I think he went to. This is crazy. I'm just way behind him. Yeah, he went to go to Pittsburgh. I just questioning myself here. That's right. So, yeah, but as Anthony's pointing out, Hall did pitch 3 innings as an opener yesterday.
Who did?
Hall did. The other guy. Dodgers lineup is out. No Will Smith. Yes, Rushing is in there. Kike Hernandez batting 9th. Seem like the main ones. But at some point, this Conforto's got to start hitting. This is getting ridiculous.
You sure?
No.
Maybe him and Jock Peterson.
Well, at least we got rid of Jock Peterson.
Yeah. Okay, let me see who. Now I'll just go over my exposures, and I will be late swapping. I mean, literally 100%. I mean, there's all these 740s and a 2-hour break. I mean,
it's the
if you don't find the time to late swap, I have nothing for you.
I know. We're going out for a date night tonight. I'm still going to find a way to do it.
Okay, let me tell you guys who I have right now. There it is, and Edmund is out. Okay, I see that.
And I lose my Giants bet because their lineup just came in after the Dodgers. Oh yeah, Edmund's out. It's really tough with the Dodgers because they've got so many.
Boy, oh boy, DraftKings looks like Chalk City, USA. Minnesota, Mets, Dodgers. Jeez. And then on FanDuel, hold on. I'm gonna check. I gotta check the pictures. There's no way I have Sale with all that. Let me just see. First of all, let me go back there. And I don't think just having Edmund and what's the name out, it's going to change things that much.
No, I mean, and also like Edmund, like it's impossible with the Dodgers lineups because they call up this Hyesung Kim when everybody's hurt, and they literally can't do anything with him because he's hitting 400, and they can't play him every day.
Right.
They have to play guys like Tommy Edman. Kike needs to get some swings in every now and then. You know what I mean? They've got too many guys. That's why I can't believe Conforto is still there. I mean, they're giving him a chance. I appreciate they're giving him a chance. But at some point, you kind of just got to say, you know what? Sorry, buddy. It's not happening.
Let's see. What did I have here in the in my Dodgers? Oh, there it is. So I do have.
The Dodgers are going to become much more popular now because now you have no Will Smith and you have Rushing instead, who's $2,000 cheaper, and you've got Kike in the lineup tonight, who's cheaper than Edmund. So that's just what's going to happen.
Okay, so the Dodgers guys have been removed. Okay. Let me remove the Dodger guys from FanDuel. I'm curious what these lineups are going to look like at the end of the night. I mean, I'm curious. Like, if I have all this Minnesota and the Mets and the Dodgers or whatever, and something happens in the early game that I don't have, I wonder if I'm going to end up with like the Giants somehow. You know, like.
Yeah, it's interesting.
On the late swap, you know.
It's possible. It's certainly, yeah.
Let's see. What do I have on FanDuel? FanDuel, yeah, I only have like 4 lineups with Will Smith, 2 with Edmund. Not a big deal.
I can't do anything right now. The restream has frozen me again.
Oh, it's freezing you up? Well, you know, we're going to get out of here anyway, so make it nice.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, so I'm going to count on not seeing you tomorrow, and if I happen to see you, great.
No, I'll see you at 12.
Oh, you are going to be there. Okay.
Yeah, 12 is fine.
Not till the evening. That's right.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, have a good night. Good luck, everybody. And yeah, I'll be in the Discord with any updated whatever comes up.
Okay, see you later.